With all the chaos surrounding the forthcoming UFC 303, it's worth reminding ourselves of the real reason to tune in: Payton Talbott. The 25-year-old bantamweight has built an undefeated record via violent, creative stoppages and is now set to take on 12-2 French prospect Yanis Gamori at the end of this month. Today, in a quick preview, I want to highlight some of the improvements that Talbott has made in his short career already. Talbott's entire style is predicated on pressure. He gets in his opponent's faces, forces them to fire haphazardous, underpowered and telegraphed strikes, and knocks them down and out. This approach means he relies heavily on his reaction time and head movement. He has to have faith that he'll be able to execute pullbacks and slips quick enough to counter his opponent. The beginning of his professional career showed that some work still had to be done in this regard. Here he is, 1-0 against Billy Brand, getting caught in the pocket as he looks for a 3-2. Here, he stalks Brand, trying to execute the cross counter, and appears to eat the left hook for his trouble. Against Hector Fajardo, he gets a bit overconfident from southpaw and doesn't anticipate this naked straight left, missing his own counter as a result. In his final amateur fight against Alex Gomez, he gets the knockdown here with the right hook, but he does eat a pretty mean right hand himself. These are just a few examples, but the general trend they point to is that Talbott's creativity, chin and power were being used as a little bit of a crutch in the early stages of his career. The fight with Brand in particular demonstrates that Talbott could be fairly lackadaisical with positioning, and would sometimes get caught resetting during an offbeat when his feet weren't established properly. Now, compare all that with his most recent fight against fellow prospect, Cameron Simon. Off of his kicks and knees, he's always framing, so as to maintain distance between himself and Simon and not allow easy return counters. He's more willing to give up ground to avoid blitzes, and then edges back in confidently to regain territory. And then, of course, there's the repeated confidence with countering the 2-3, having his guard ready to defend the hook as he lands his own. Earlier in his career, his hands weren't as active in his pocket defense, often sitting around his chest as he threw down. Now, they're a bit more engaged. Of course, there's a lot more to Talbott than just what these clips cover. Consider his masterful kick catching that he uses to further break down distance, or his impressive sprawl. But we're trying to keep it brief here, so I'll end the video by saying that if there's one individual to keep your eye on in the UFC right now, it has to be Payton Talbott. Whether he continues his winning ways deep into the future or not, he's undeniably one of the most entertaining, aggressive fighters on the modern roster. If you're after captivating fights, you can't ask for more from a young, hungry mixed martial artist.